Real Talk Chimp, live streaming on YouTube at Real Talk Chimp. That's RealTalkChimp. This is part 3 of building the 3D model kit here, the 3D puzzle. Cherry Blossom Sakura Tree Tea Pavilion DIY Mini House. SJ042. Rated for ages 14 and up with 220 pieces. Comes with an LED lamp, but you'll have to provide the 2 AAA batteries. All the information that's on the back of this is in the description, amongst other things. Links to the actual kit to purchase it and the toolkit that I purchased is also in the description. Where I left us, we were just adding the base to one of the walls. Then we added the ceiling, and then we started working on this side wall, adding the battery pack with the LED wiring harness. And then we pretty much stopped right about here because when we were working on the side wall, we noticed some serious warping and we were unable to connect, we being Real Talk Chimp, unable to connect this wall right here due to serious warping and misalignment of the wall itself, the hole where that roof or ceiling piece is to connect to. I did a deep dive onto Reddit, and it turns out that all of these kits from this particular manufacturer have this problem. There are ways of going about it which require some serious craftsmanship know-how. I don't have that technical ability, so we're just going to kind of wing it. So what we did is we put the LED light where the main LED light where it's supposed to be. See, with this thing being so wonky, it just wants to fall apart, which is a total shame. But I think once we get all the walls around it up, then we can monkey with it with rubber bands or something to try to keep it solid. So the ceiling, unfortunately, because of its being warped, it won't stay. So we just kind of have to work with it the best that we can, we being me. It shows this piece, this wiring harness to come through, to come underneath into this notch, to connect into this notch, but it doesn't show where it connects. Now, I tried to glue it down and it wouldn't stay down. So we're going to try some of that double-sided tape and some of that clear tape and run this wiring along this wall and bring it into this notch that you see right here, this notch here, and then we'll try to figure it out as we go. It doesn't give us clear instructions yet, but this is where we're at the moment. If I do flip the light on, we're having some issues with it, and I think we're still having some issues, it looks like. Yeah, so we're still having some issues with the light. We cannot mount the ceiling, as I said, so there goes the wall. So with having such a warped thing, trying to connect these pieces will be extremely frustrating and difficult. That's what happens with a lot of these cheap kits. So they don't fit well together. So just be patient and just do what you can do, really, all you can do. So So let's try to get you back in here. It doesn't show how to secure this thing on here. But, all right. We'll just leave that like that. All right. So we attached the one switch here. I mean, the one LED goes against that back wall. This back wall right here. So I took the tape off, the double side tape, and stuck that one on there. That's the pressure switch that will go somewhere, probably on the ceiling somewhere. But trying to hold this all together in here is next to impossible. So fortunately, they also put the tape on the wrong side. So that's also kind of, you see the 4 LED lights go into those 4 empty slots right there with this little securing thing here. That's the best we can do. And then it has these little handle pieces here that hold the wires together. The best that you can do. See, every time I touch the wall wants to fall apart. Same with the ceiling here. Everything just falls apart. Okay, we're done with that wall for now because there's nothing we can do. The wall's just not going to hang together. Everything's going to fall apart because of the misalignment. There's just nothing we can do right now. So we'll just try to figure out. See, it shows how the light goes on that area, and then you connect those little things that we did right here. Connect that down. The adhesive tape on the back of the light strip should be removed. Okay, so I assume that they're trying to get the glue that's on this to connect with these two little things here, but it seems counterproductive considering these are going to stay to the best that they can in there, and that would connect to something above it, but we haven't found anything like that yet. So yeah, real shame that everything's misaligned, but without smashing it into pieces and throwing it in the trash, there's really nothing we can do. Also notice that the screws that you were meant to put in here to secure this box down, this is completely misaligned as well, where the holes are and stuff. And the screws are, I guess, too long so that it's not allowing this thing to align properly. But if you unscrew them out, you won't be able to put the faceplate that goes on the back of this. So disaster in the making, my friends. If this is the type of content that you like, you consider hitting that like button. It's my frustration that I have to deal with. You don't have to deal with. Of course, unless you buy the kit, then you will get to this stage of basically 78 or 76, this stage right here. And when you come across that wall, you'll realize, wow, they made a grave mistake on where they put that hole right there. Should be over 1 square. Now, we could go in with our blade and very carefully cut out a notch right there. Try to get this thing to focus. We could try to cut out a notch right on that one right there so that the ceiling will align with it, and then fill that up with some cement or something else. I suppose we could do that, but also the problem is this board is warped, so it won't let it catch properly. So we could try connect the bottom down here. Try to connect the side there, okay. Once again, let's see if we can try to glue this thing down, because it's obnoxious of it constantly falling down. See if there's some way we could glue this piece on here, even though it doesn't show it. No, it's not possible, because again, those screws are too long and they're bumping up against that wall. Hey there, Shark. Yeah, I'm live right now. I'm doing this completely live. Let me take a look and see. I gotta pop the phone off the gimbal here so I can read what your name is. Sharkier KF. Husky dog lover. Hey, welcome back. Well, no, I mean, obviously I don't want it where the lights are. That wouldn't make sense, because then you wouldn't be able to. So it doesn't show a piece going on top of the ceiling to where those lights are. Like maybe if there was some kind of support farther on, but I don't see any kind of support. The tape just would sit open on that ceiling, collecting dust or whatever. But it does show over here on the next page, a secondary fix can be achieved using transparent adhesive tape to hold that thing down. And that's what it says to do with the wires as well. However, this back plate that just keeps falling off right here, so I'm going to back up on the screws and try that. See if that works at all to securing this plate down. Now I know that the screws are going to throw off the plate that goes on top of this. So basically you're going to have a wall right here. This wall right here will eventually go right here, and then it's going to make it too thick with those screws. So it'll basically sit, if I can get it up here, this dovetail. Yeah, see, I can't even press these pegs into the dovetail because of the gap inside here is so large because of the screws being misaligned and such. So if we try to do this here, the reality is can we just ditch this middle plate? Could we just ditch this middle plate, shove this thing down inside here? You won't be able to see it. You won't be able to really reach it. The reality is, you know, you can shut the switch up. It's not like you're going to have the LED lights on all the time, or maybe you are. But you could probably build something better. Plus, they sell these kits at hobby stores, these basic LED type things. So I backed off the screws a little bit. This one is really long. That one right there is super. So if I back off these screws, just so that they're flush with the wood here, maybe I can glue this plate onto this piece and not have to deal with this. So that they're flush there, they're still secure, this plastic. Okay, so I backed off that. Let's pull this down. So now I have the ability. So I think once this is also glued down and not moving around so much, then I can drill those screws in deeper and have them connect with the wood behind it. So let's try that. Let's keep that glued down. Let's wipe off some of this glue off of our hands. Okay. All right, we'll secure this down because we don't need this at the moment. So once this thing is adhered to this, that's good. So now we can press down, sorry, I gotta move the camera this way. We can press down on the plate, and now we can drive these screws in as long as it doesn't, there we go. It'll go into the wood just a millimeter, maybe less than a millimeter, if we can press it down. Okay. Oh, no, it's coming out. Okay. Stay there. Stay in your home. Even if we catch it at an angle. Oh, no. Okay. I guess that's all. I don't want to touch any more of those screws. Try to get this wall aligned. I guess we need a little bit of glue on this side. Screws didn't work. Okay. Hand's not working properly. I'm going to get some new hands, I think. Okay. Let's back this off again. Stay glued. That's all I want. Stay glued. Okay. Once again, try to keep this wall connected. Ceiling won't go regardless. So I think maybe what I'm going to try to do for the ceiling is I am going to try to, without chopping fingers off, cut this square farther off to the left here. Oh, too far. God, my cutting skills are not very good anymore. Let's just try to scrape this back a little bit. When in doubt, improvise, right? Okay, so if it's a little farther back, that's so warped it just does not want to do anything. Oop, pieces falling apart. Okay. All right. So let's catch this guy. Peel this tape off. I don't know why. It's just going to stick to my fingers and not to where it needs to go. Let go of my fingers. Kind of just want to stick this underneath and just be done with it, you know? Like stick it underneath here and we're never going to see it. It's going to look tacky as hell, and I can't even get it because of the angle is weird. All right, more pieces falling off. You know what? Let's try something. Just for shits and giggles. See that side, if we put it on that side, if we flip the whole thing around, that side will actually connect. The problem is it hangs off about 1 millimeter. Plus, the stuff underneath is going to be facing the wrong direction. So if you look at this right here, it shows the sign being off to the left. If I reverse the board so that it'll actually fit to the wall, that sign will be on the opposite side. It will be completely wonky. So basically it'll be completely reversed and on the wrong side. But that's the only way that the wall will stay. Like that's the only way you'll be able to connect it. It makes no sense, but whatever they did, they reversed it. See how when I try to put it in here, it just sits all wonky? What can you do, man? I bought a cheap kit, you know? It is what it is. That's why you got to pay those hundreds of dollars to buy those real expensive kits where they actually have some quality control. So again, if we try to it's just going to be wonky like that. Battery box fell out again. Okay. LED strip. All the pieces are falling off. That's awesome. Let's do this. This guy does not want to fit no matter what I do. Okay. I gotta take it off to do this. Too deep. All right, too deep. Just gotta set it there. Try to get this in here. Now secure it down. Sticking to my fingers. That's awesome. This one doesn't want to go. Okay. All right, so it's sticking to my fingers, but trying to get it. Doesn't have any glue on the other side, but maybe they could have put some of the little glue. I don't know. Well, like I said, we can use, let's get some of that clear tape. And then we can secure that thing down a little bit better. So they gave us this thing right here. It has these little clear tape pieces. Oh, my Lord. Okay, little clear tape piece, if you can see it here. So what I'm going to do is, there we go. Just secure that down to the ceiling there. Okay. Everybody else is content. You will never go. What can we do? Try to get you back on there. Without breaking anything else. Let's see, how can I do this? Oh my God, battery box. Hold the battery box. 47-point turn. You need like 20 more hands for this. Oh, please don't fall apart. Ceiling already fell off. Awesome. The ceiling just immediately falls down. That's great. Okay. Can we just keep this together? Okay. We got no place for these guys. So we're going to use the tape, and we're going to try to do this without it all falling apart here. I need a couple of more hands to do this, I think. So we're going to grab a piece of tape. Oh, come on. We're not going to grab a piece of tape. We're going to try to grab a piece of tape. Wow. This tape does not want to come loose. Okay. Grab a piece of tape. We're going to try our darndest. Okay, so we're going to secure the wires coming down this way, through this way. Okay. Do that. Oh, please, battery box. Please stop falling off. Okay, a little piece of tape that way. A piece of tape here. Get it to come up through here. Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't know if this will get too hot and melt the tape. So now the battery box doesn't even fit because of that panel there. It's just gonna have to be wonky. I mean, what else can you do? Okay, so this one has to go here. I don't want to say the B-O-M-B word, but it kind of makes me feel like I'm building a B-O-M-B. Oh, my Lord, come on. All right, so where can we secure this thing? It refuses, you can't rotate it or all the wires will go the wrong way. Can we just leave it inside here? Can't leave it inside there. That's not going to work. That was garbage. Let's see if we can hold this battery box down a little bit. Like, I can't even advance until I can secure this stuff down. I can tell your frustration because you guys split at the first sign of my frustration. Okay, let's hold that side down there, at least for now. Okay. It's called ingenuity. It's called improvisation. Make it work. Think it's going to work, and it'll work. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. All right, we stuck some tape there. We stuck some tape there. Our battery box isn't going anywhere. Let's just do one more for poops and giggles here. Why not? We need that to stay somehow. This guy doesn't want to stay. Well, you know what? We're going to make you stay. Look at that. Good enough. Good enough. Let's put another one down here. Okay. Let's get these guys to run up the back over here. All right. Figure this crap out together. Come on. We're like NASA engineers trying to build a rocket ship here or something. That's how complicated this seems. It doesn't have to be this complicated. I'm no electrician, but... Ooh. I am no electrician, but I tell you, after this, I'm going to go work for PG&E. Sticking Scotch tape on wires. That sounds like a job I could do. I'm down. Someone will hire me, right? I could put that on my resume. Like, what did you do? Well, I put Scotch tape on wires, bro. And they stayed. Well, they would say to me, well, why didn't you just nail like a brace to hold the wires to the wall? Hey, man, don't hit me with that logic. All right, so that's loose. These guys can be taped down to the ceiling here, and we got 2 more pieces left. Bam. Look at that. Okay, let's try not to knock anything apart here. Look at that. Wonky as hell, but we got it. We got it so much that I can go, wow, wow. Sorry. I probably scared you away with that. I apologize. All right, let's put a dangerous tool aside. Clean up our mess here a little bit. Okay, we're done with the little screwdriver. We can put the little screwdriver back. Now I need a sip of water. Okay. Alrighty now. We have done all that crap. We have completed what we needed to complete from part 2. Now I think we can move on. Okay, I think we knocked in all that. Now, even though it shows that wire that I taped to the back dangling there loose, so there must be a place for it eventually. But right now, it gets it out of our way so we can move ahead. All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, part 80 here says, a secondary fix can be this is what we talked about. Achieved using the transparent adhesive tape. We did that. We secured the transparent. All right, so we're putting another wall up, which is this critter. The very first wall we made, the very first part of this live stream, we made this sassy little wall right here, and it now has to go up here. So let's see if we can accomplish that task. Let's see if we can accomplish that task. Okay. Not looking good for the home team. Why? Oh, it's misaligned over there. Oh, that is so stupid. There we go. Oh, yes. Okay, so now we're starting to hold parts down properly. That was the ticket, was gluing, not gluing, but using that tape to get that stuff there. Okay. The real disappointment is the fact that the lights don't work. But I think maybe we just need to switch and get new batteries. I ordered batteries, but they haven't come in yet. Worst comes to worst, I'm just going to go out and find. Oh, see, this LED strip works. This one works, but this one doesn't. Or it's so faint you can barely see it. So the pressure switch does work. So I'm thinking that the batteries are bad because it goes on with the pressure switch. You can see it. It does go on just barely. But like I said, when you buy these big sets of batteries that come with like 22 batteries in it, you're bound to have some of the batteries not work properly. All right, so we did connect this wall right here, which is right here. That's your wall, onto it. So now we have another wall that looks like it goes on the front. Let's see, that one is C1. Wait a second here. Oh, all right then. Okay, never mind. I'm losing my mind. C1 is what we're looking for. So we're going to take these plates that had fallen out. Here is C1, I think. Yeah, this is C1, but this thing in here, they were like little T-sets and stuff on this plate. This plate does not have to be here, so we'll put that one aside. C1 now, we put this front plate on and hope we can get everything aligned properly here. Let's start at the top and work our way down. Okay, now let's do some filing. Filing of the pegs. As we've learned throughout this entire kit, the pegs are wider than the slot given. So with the file, take a little bit of that edge off. hopefully. All right, does it go white first, windows out, windows out? Windows out, so white on the interior, windows out. Seems like that piece is just a little large. Okay, we got one corner in. Good. Good, and there we go. Got everything connected here. Okay. So it doesn't appear that this rice paper door slides, so maybe we're gonna do something else, or it's gonna just stay open. I think it stays open. Yes, okay, so it stays open. The wall does not slide. So like I have another similar type of store like this where the rice paper doors, actually you can slide them. They're super cool, and they actually have rice paper. Again, that was a more expensive kit than this one. That's just kind of how it is. But I'll have you go inside of it with the camera here. Such cutie pie right there. Little staircase up to the tea room there. Cute. All right, so that wall worked. That is on there. That's good. Okay. So that right there was step 80 and step 81. Okay, so now we are on step 82. Current completion status. So yeah, I mean, other than the fact that I don't know why it still shows the wires dangling out, but I have them taped up back here to make the life easier for us. So, but for all intents and purposes, this section is complete. Everything is secured, panels are secured. And like I said, I think because even though that one side where the ceiling refused to connect with the wall, once we put all the walls and everything up, and the fact that I cut out a far enough notch to let it sit naturally, I think that was our best option. So we think things are secured down. Okay, perfect. All right, let's see. We have step 83, double-sided tape. Position the electrical wire terminals at the locations indicated in the diagram and secure them with double-sided adhesive tape. So now it's giving us an option of where we can put that little wiring harness thing. So they want us to put it here, right out in the open. I don't see it on that one. Double-sided tape. What are we missing here? Why would you want to put it there? That seems really odd. But it doesn't show it in any of the other pictures. Oh, that's not good. So now it's showing the... Oh, okay, I did screw up here. So this pressure switch, they don't want it up here, which they showed in the other image. They want it underneath. All right, we got to take it apart. I'm going to try to take it apart without breaking anything. Okay, so we're going to take this one here, run this one underneath here, bring this one down, bring it down farther. Why did you want us to do that? That is so bizarre. Okay, so how Please don't miss a line. Ooh, that scared me. Okay, so now we got the wires down low. Let's bring this out over here. Okay, so we have the wire down low where it wants to be. This one doesn't really have a place where we can go because it's shorter than what it shows in the dingus, the instructions. So I don't understand. They show the wire is being a lot longer than how it is. We can't pull it down anymore. That's as far as it goes. Now, if they want it like horizontal like this, but why would that seem so strange? Unless you want it on the inside of the wall? It's on the inside of the wall? First of all, it's showing the wrong side. Okay. So if we're holding it like this, the way it's shown in the picture, it's bringing that front thing out all the way over here. Okay. Pressure switch is all the way out on the front, and there's absolutely no way to bring this piece all the way over here or even right here. It's too small. The wiring is too small. That seems awfully strange. Like, why would you want this wiring here after you tried to bring it all the way around? It won't go up here because of the battery box. Very confusing. I can't even put it on the bottom. There's not enough slack. So now we have come to another conundrum of why the instructions show putting that little plate right on the front. Well, that literally does not make any sense. But then it doesn't show it anywhere in any other picture. I'm baffled. Anybody? Anybody have a clue? See, why would you tuck the cables underneath here if you want to pull them out and put them right here? Can't do it because there's not enough slack to bring it down. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. I have to mount it somewhere inside here. That's the only way because there's not enough slack, like I said. Very strange. Could it be a misprint? Absolutely. It absolutely could be a misprint. They have been known to misprint stuff. Okay, can't secure that very well, but it's well enough. This guy has to be separate of that one. So she or he will come back this way. Have to come back. Oh, and everything comes apart again. I'm just going to let it dangle. We're done with this. Get the double-sided tape. I don't know where I can place it. I honestly don't. Fuck it, leave it on there. Okay. Double-sided tape, if I could just get it to come off. Okay. Very sticky. Well, that's going to be weird. Where can I place this thing? Put it on here. We do that? Yeah, I guess that will work. I used the double-sided tape and I just stuck it on the little corner of the wood there. Those are the lights on in there. Let's see if you can see them in there. I turned the lights on with the power switch that's on the back here. So put my finger on the power switch. There we go. And I cut the double-sided tape. It was about a 1 inch long. I cut it down just in case we need to use another piece of it somewhere else. Okay. So that's where we were. We've got that now taped up according to this, step 83. So step 84 shows us mounting this base, mounting the building onto the base. And let me read this here. Insert the other electrical connector into the recessed area of F1. F1 being this like tiled or stone floor. And then you see they kind of put it through the hole there and have it underneath. Okay. So F1. Come here and look for F1. Okay, here's F1. I mean, you know, the good thing, the fact that I'm making a tutorial while I'm doing this, not just putting it together, is that when you get to this step, if you buy this kit and you get to this step and you're having the same problems I have, you can go back to my video and you can look and see the steps that I use to jerry rig it together, I guess. And of course, if you figure it out yourself, awesome. There's something really cool about this thing here. It's actually textured. So like when you touch it, it feels textured like stone. Whereas this side is just part you're not going to see. This actually has texture on it. I don't know if it can be seen or if it's like just debris, but if you look at like however they painted this, it looks like real stone. It's very pretty. Stone tiles, I guess. And it has texture on your hands. It's pretty neato. Okay, so if we turn this properly, which would be this way, according to the pickature here, so that we can align this properly. All right, so this one here would go through this guy. Fish that through. We can pull it this way here. And then we set this guy on top. But first, let's fish it all the way through. Best that we can. Okay. Get it out of the way there. So now, let me look closely at this thing here. So it's back there. Okay, so this guy goes here. Why would I think it would fit? Why would I think it would fit when I know it needs to be filed? Why would I think? Come on. Come on. You know it's not going to fit. All right, let's try to lay this thing down so we can get a better handle of this monkey. All right, this guy has to go here. breaking everything. Does not want to go. Okay. Well, that's going to be a problem. Oh, they misaligned it. No. They misaligned it. Again, another piece misaligned. So you notice how this wall has a peg, and then the plate that you used to screw the plastic battery box in also has a peg. And check this out. They misaligned the squares. Oh, that's such a kick in the balls. It's such a kick in the balls, I swear to God. So I think the only way we're going to be able to remedy this without taking this whole battery box out and redo the wiring is we have to cut a peg off. That is, oh, it's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. That is just heartbreaking. Let's see if we can even, I wish I had a little saw, but I don't. But a little saw would be phenomenal. That is heartbreaking. Do not try this at home. I am not a paid professional stuntman. Fingers will be lost. Or just whittling that piece away. Heartbreaking. The horror. The horror. Marlon Brando, Apocalypse Now? No? Too soon? My bad. Okie dokie. That piece is sort of gone now. Something fell off. Oh, the danishes fell off the shelf. The danishes. Well, we'll glue that in a little bit later. So let's start over again. Let's lean that over there. Let's get this critter through here. Let's pull it down as much as we can. Let's grab and put. Heartbreaking. Misaligned. Oh, that's so misaligned. Oh. Heartbreaking. Okay, well, guess we're going to have a problem here when they misaligned. I'll show you this in a moment here. So we're trying to connect the feet pegs of the walls to the base. Please don't break. Let's remove that so we can get to this here. Heartbreaking. Look at that. The peg won't even reach the square that it has to go into. So there is the hole that this peg needs to go into, but it's off by how many millimeters? So we're going to have to chop that peg off completely and just glue this whole thing down as they completely misalign this thing. Heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. It's pathetic is what it is. But again, you live and you learn when you buy cheap kits. You live and you learn. The quality control is not there at all. So yeah, I can't secure the base down because the peg is, how many millimeters is that? Maybe 4 millimeters off of its. Now, if I was to go off of that hole, then all of these pegs wouldn't align properly. So again, we got to do some whittling. Wish I had some way to pause the live stream so you wouldn't have to sit through this torture. I'm afraid I do not. Or if you know a way that there is, I don't know. All right, well, I guess we're just going to have to take off the, let's take this whole thing off. Okay. Again, I am not a professional, but I will be using my teeth on this. Bear with me. I bit it off with my teeth. That is a solid tool. I'm not going to lie. You know, your teeth come in handy sometimes. Sometimes your teeth come in handy and you need to use your teeth on a modeling project. So maybe we'll add one more tool to our list of things to put these model kits together. You need the file. You need the tweezers. You need the blade or scissors. You need the glue. And you need your teeth to be able to bite parts off. Okay, cool. You good with that? There we go. Now we have it. There's the piece that I bit off right there. I bit off more than I could chew. There's the little tab that did not need to be there. I chewed it off. Okay. The base is now connected. The wires are now in place. Let's try to set our pastries inside there again. Let's add some glue to this piece here. Some back here because we're going to have to sit this in here kind of wonky. I think since I don't think I'll be able to fish it through to where it needs to go. Let me see. Without it falling down. I guess we did. That's kind of where it's got to go. Hopefully with enough glue in there, it'll stay. But I think bumping it around, pieces do fall off as you're bumping around. That's just the unfortunate. Okay. So we managed to get the floor down, or this outside area. Oh, look at that. I don't know if you can see this. Power button. That's a little power button. So this little critter will be underneath this floor, and you'll be able to control it from the power button here. Normally, on the buildings I build, the power is up on like the ceiling tile or inside somewhere. It's the first time I've got it on the base plate. That's kind of slick. Okay, let's secure our cutting tool so we don't chop off a phalange. Okay, so we have put the floor on here, or whatever that is. Insert the other electrical blah, blah, blah. We got it, okay. See, it showed the two tabs. It showed the two tabs and two slots. But they were misaligned and they had to go bye-bye. Okay, so now we have that wall that we have to put on the back of the battery box there. So we'll put that wall on, which is this guy right here. And earlier in one of the other episodes, we made this little thing here so that we could open this up and get to said batteries. So let's do that. Let's move that aside. Let's rotate. So here we go. I think because there's no way to really secure this plate down, if you move or, this box, this thing is probably going to fall out in between. It's not going to fall out all the way out through here. It may. No, it's too big. It's too wide. So we tried to screw it down, but it did not want to adhere. I kept a screwdriver from one of the other kits that I built. And when I'm finished with all these kits, while I put all the old plates that are all finished and accessory bags, I'll take the whole kit that came with this one and I'll put it in my toolbox. Just like all the paintbrushes, when I use all the paintbrushes and paints for my painting stuff, I'll still keep all that stuff because I can just reuse it all. Trying to secure this plate down. It refuses, so we'll just leave it like that. All right, wires are out of the way. They should be out of the way so we can put the plate on. So let's tilt this forward. Hope our pegs will work. Of course, we have some misalignment. Oh, no, don't break. Ooh. Oh, please. There you go. Okay. Just not secured to the floor yet. There we go. Okay, so we have the wall on here covering that battery box. All the wires where they need to be. That's secured down. That's secured down. So now you open that up. That's where your batteries are and all your wiring harness. Close that and just rotate the dial. Oh. Hang on a second here. Oh. Fell apart. That's not cool. All right, let's try that again. Okay. Let's push that piece in there. Let's try to secure that piece again there. I think because I don't feel comfortable, I'm going to put a dab of glue in here that it may fall off again. I think because of all the crap that's in here, it's making it hard to secure down. Yeah, oh, I see, okay. It's bumping into that switchy thing in there. When in doubt, smash it down. Good enough. Plus, that face is going to be facing my bookshelf. No one's going to see that part. All good to go there. All good to go. Well, we busted this part off here, so this part I'm going to secure with glue, even though it doesn't require it, but it doesn't seem to want to stay. So let's add a little glue. What it needs is it needs some support underneath. It needs support underneath here. It doesn't have any support. Normally this thing would be nailed into the window, right? But it's not, so. But we added some glue to it, so hopefully that'll take care of that, okay? Cool beans. These two plates are finished. So we can put them at the bottom of the box. Okay. We're not done with the kit yet. We've got quite a lot more to go. So it does give you an extra screw, which is super cool. So we'll put that inside of our toolbox. Okay. Little plastic bag we can hang on to. Those are all finished pieces. Finished pieces. This is not finished piece. Sometimes you do get extra pieces that don't go with the set. Maybe there's a modified set or something. So, okay. The reason why it's sitting wonky is because this wire is here. All right. So, we have completed step 84. We have completed step 85. Now we're going to put a window on, it looks like. So we're going to put that window in this spot right here. So let us find said window. There it is. Oh, fingers. Now, as I said in the tutorial, anytime they have these plastic type pieces, they have a film on them, and you have to peel the film off. If my fingers worked, I'd be able to peel the film off. Note to self, pre-pull off a little piece of the corner so that it's easier when live streaming. But see, this is the difference between live streaming and just uploading videos. Nothing ever works properly. I have it off screen here, sorry. Let's see if I can. Oh, I got a corner. Yay. See the film? I wasn't lying. But it's on both sides, so I got that one side off. Gotta try getting it off this side. Or I'm just gonna leave it on there. Because my fingers aren't working. I don't want to use the blade and scratch everything up. It's your lucky day, plastic. You are staying on. All right, so we have to glue this up here Does it go to the front? Let's see. Goes there. Seems awfully small. That's what she said. Dope. Okay. So we're gonna run a bead of glue down here. Too much? Okay. So I think this little glass that's supposed to be here is for the LED that's behind it to shine through it. I'm pretty sure that's what that thing is there. The only way you can tell it's there is because of the bead of glue. But I assure you, oh, no, it fell down. I assure you I didn't do it. Let's wipe off all this glue because I'm never going to be able to see it now. Still would be nice to be able to peel that thing off there. Really be helpful. Oh, got it. Watch how much more clear this is with the film gone. See the film on here? See how clear that is? Sheesh. And you didn't believe me. You didn't believe me. All right, so we're going to take some of the glue off there. Try to set it back in here. Okay. Oh, it just keeps wanting to fall off. Stay. Stay. Namaste. Namaste. Okay. Okay. Okay, hopefully that little plastic part stays on. Okay, next. Next is basically just telling you that that part's complete. Moving on to part 87. So we're going to build the roof pieces now. 2 pieces. B7 are the I don't know what you call those. Pay attention to the orientation. By following these steps, 2 identical roof components can be assembled. So we're going to need D1 and D7. Well, we have one of the D1s because it fell off earlier. Okay, so let's go over to D. Just here. There's D1 times 2. So D7. I'm sorry, B7. So looking at this plate is completely finished. So we can put this plate away. That plate is done. That toolkit over there. Okay, so then we're looking for B. Okay, so this plate E as well is completed. So get rid of E. That's F. That's G, E, F, G. That's C. Parts are falling apart. That's A. Here's B. Okay. So we are looking for B7 times 4. Right there. Sometimes pieces want to stay on their plates. So you just got to wiggle them out without breaking them if you can. All right, take note of orientation. That don't make no sense. Oh, don't tell me you silk screened it wrong again. Oh, don't tell me. No. No. Okay. Man. See the way the pattern of the roof is? If you were to flip it upside down, it would not look right. Be inverted. You want that black line to be up the top, facing upwards, up the slope. That would be towards the center point of the roof. This would be towards the bottom. Hey, Queen Carter, how you doing there? Okay, so we'll take this one here. Nope, that's the right direction. On one of my kits, they silk screened the roof upside down. Didn't matter what side you did it on. So on one of my buildings, the roof is completely wrong. Again, it was another cheap kit that I bought. See, the thing is there are some kits that where the parts, like where this cat is, the cat wouldn't just be this flat paper. It would be like an actual like plastic 3-dimensional that you would glue down. But those are the more expensive kits. So when you see kits on Amazon or on Etsy or these sites where they sell these things, you'll see some kits at $100, and you're like, why? Why is it so expensive? Well, because the quality control is better, and the parts aren't super cheap and misaligned and wonky and warped and stuff like that. It's, like this guy was a lot cheaper. Some of these kits you can get for like $6. The same $100 kit, but it's a total knockoff, and it's sold for like $6. Super cheap. You're going to be screaming, you're going to smash it into pieces, and you're going to go cry in a fetal position in the corner. But if you do manage to successfully build it, then yeah, you'll have a cute little building. It just won't be like the more professionally typed kits, but it will be still a model kit, and you'll feel successful and productive that you put it together. Okay, now that we've done those two pieces right here, we're now going to place them on here. This is also a tricky part because if it's misaligned, then the tears will start flowing. Okay. Can already see that's not right. Let's try this one. So these little critters on the side here, whatever they're called, they have to be on the outside of that wall. They cannot be on the inside. Okay, well, of course, we've got to file down these pegs because the pegs are much larger than the holes that they got to go into. A little bit of pressure. Okay, a little bit of pressure. Okay. Like this guy here. That one went on a little bit better. That one went on perfect. Okay, cool, cool. Ooh, I don't want that glass to fall off. Okay. So it'll be impossible to try to get it back. Okay. So we did that one. We did that one there. We did that one there. So now we're going to put this top piece that runs across the top and fills that gap with those gables. Gables, I guess they're called. Gables. So B20 and A31. So here's A31 here. So A31. And the A plate is completed. So we can now get rid of the A plate. Okay, here we go with our B20s. Is it focusing on here or is it just me? So our B20s here. Our B20s. So, okay. Let's see. See if we can connect them both together and then try to put them on. Okay. Okay. So now they got to go on the top and outside of this. Okay, so you can see here the tabs that tab and that tab need to connect onto these open spots. Open spots. So this has to go underneath. It has to go on top and underneath. There we go. Just try to align this one here. So it's the trim of the house, the trim on the outside here. Give you that traditional look with that center point. So you know, like on some of these buildings that have like I completely forgot. Like the ranks of the samurais back in the Edo period, depending on their group that they're in, be it the elks or the wolves or whatever, they would, on the ends here, they would have like, you know, like if it was elk, it would have elk horns coming off, right? If it was a wolf, it would be like the wolf heads coming off, not real wolf heads, but they'd be sculpted in a bronze or whatever material, gold. They would be off on the edges here coming off, the tusks, whatever those tribes of those different samurais. But they kept that traditional Edo architecture for these kits, even though these are modern day tea houses and such, just the way that they look, that pagoda style is that they kept. Obviously, they have modern buildings. Now, my next kit that I'll be building will be a completely modern Japanese supermarket, and it won't have this traditional look to it. So it is what it is, and it is what it is. All right, so we completed step 90, which was putting those pieces on there. So we're going to flip the page. What we got next here? Okay, well, 91 basically was showing connecting the other side, connecting the other gable on there. But we already did it because we were lazy and we put the whole thing together. All right, so 92 shows the bottom of where we're going to tape the pressure plate. So it says double-sided tape. That's good that we kept a piece of the double-sided tape. And this red part says position the electrical wire terminals as shown in the diagram and secure them with double-sided adhesive tape. So that pressure plate, that's where you're going to turn it on, is going where I showed you here. So let's see if I can focus this in. So you see that little button that shows a power diagram? This is on the top, but underneath, oh, we don't have anything that designates what that is. So we're just gonna, oh, it is. It's a little black dot. See the little black dot right there? So we're gonna do the pressure doohickey, put them right there. And somehow when you press the button, your finger pressure goes through the double-sided tape onto that little thing there. I don't know how it's going to work, but we're going to try it. You got me, toots. Another one of these peeling off critters. Okay. So pressure plate. Well, this is the only way it's going to have to work. How? How does the finger make contact with that? How does it work? I don't know. Okay. So I think we have to secure this one down somewhere. Let's see if I have any more tape. I do not see any more. We'll just have to wing it. Okay. So we have that on there for poops and giggles. Let's figure out how that's going to work. don't see any contact. Oh! There is contact. That's so weird. Okay, remember, I still have to replace the batteries because they're not super bright. But you can see it in there. Watch that little window right there. Cool. Light off. Oh, come on. Light on. Light off. Light on. Neato. Cool. Totally cool. Like, oh my God, like gagged me with a spoon. Like, no way. All right, so that was part 92 right there, or step 92. Pressure and all that. So we're going to go over to 93, which is over that plastic window that we built. We need to glue on G2. So let's get G2. Here is G. Here is G2. G2, where's your number? Right there. G2. Cute little decorative thing. So we got one more part on G. We'll keep that aside. Look at that. That's pretty. Some pretty decoration right there. Okay. So that is going to be placed like so. Let's make sure that it's... Oh, I'm sorry. You want me to flip this around? So it's going to be like this. Makes sense. There's kanji on here. So there's actual shapes. There is a bowl shape cut out here. There is the little sumo bear cut out here. There's a kanji symbol. A little sakura, a cherry blossom. A deep cherry blossom. There is some other thing, a cat with a cat tail. There's the little tools, or maybe that's a dessert, I'm not sure. That's definitely a kanji symbol there, and another one of those sumo or kitty cat type shapes. Cute, super cute. There's the part that you're going to glue. So we're going to get our gluey McGluertins. Let's do it here. Gluey McGluertins. Okay. So our glue doesn't dry out. We'll close it and smear it on. Do the smear. Smear it around. Tacky. Okay. Now we're going to glue you here. Let's try to align you with this thing here. Cool. Make sure you're flush. You're flush. So that when we kind of hard to see. You made it more dark. I don't know why it's more darker now. Weird. But there it is. It looks weird on there, but no, that's supposed to be there. Oh, that's right. This bottom line here is where the masks are going to be hanging down. So let's try to align this. Okay. Flush on that side, flush on that side. Okay, so, all right, so we have secured step 93 here with glue. Now we're going to put these masks on here. B1 or B19, and there are 5 pieces. B18, and there's 2 pieces, so they have to be glued on, these masks. So basically what we're doing is this right here. We'll be gluing these masks on the front here in that rectangular spot. Okay, so I'm going to keep this as a reference to which color goes where. Suppose you can be creative and do your own thing. There are the masks. There's B19 times 5 and B18 times 2. Okay, so these are little itty bitty pieces. These are all the masks of the samurais. Stuck on the back. So looking at the B board is complete. So we can get rid of the B board. Okay, so now let's take a look at the mask. So this guy is first. Let's put these guys aside. They're actually two-sided. The blue guy is second. The whitish, turquoise-ish is third. The second red one is fourth. The other whitish one with no blue is 5. The gold mask is 6. And the last one, let's reverse it. This one is 6, and this one is 7. So if you know your Japanese history, you'll be able to determine which samurai belonged to each one of these masks. What was the last samurai game that I played? Was the Assassin's Creed, the one where they have the samurai and the ninja. Oh my God, what is that title called? I don't know. I don't remember. But they go through and it's a revenge thing, right? So they go after each of these daio, each of these top samurai mercenary peoples. Okay, time for some gluing. I'm going to flip them over. So I can put a little glue on each one. Then I'll probably use the tweezers to set them in there. Okay. Don't quote me on my history. I don't remember a lot, unfortunately. So we're dropping glue, little droplets on each of the masks. Okay. Close our gluey down. Okay, we're going to lift this up. Finger's not working today. So here, I'm going to set this over here. No, I'm not. Stop running away and stay here. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so that's how they're going to sit. Let go of my finger. Okay, masks are attached. We can maneuver them around if there's any way that they match the box. Not really. Okay. Let's see how their masks sit up there. This is on the box. This one seems to have a lot more blue in it than the one that I actually did. But cute. Domo arigato. Hi. Okay, so we have done step 94. Glued the little masks onto the front door. Now we're going to go to step 95, which is putting a C26 on there. So it looks like we're going to be putting an awning. So we're looking for a C26. C26, not on there. So let's look over here. C26, there's a C26 right here. Okay. C26 goes where? Goes into that little slot right there. Okay. Make sure the slant's facing properly. That's on there. Okay. Now, step 96, pay attention to the orientation of the gap on C11. Okay. So we need C11 and C4. C11. 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 I already have C11 sitting right here. That was one of the pieces that fell off early on. Like that. Okay. C4 times 2. This would be the awning legs. The legs of said awning. Okay, there. At quite an angle. This is how we have to make sure the orientation is correct. That is the base. This is the base. This goes onto the awning. Now, how it goes onto the awning, like so. That is the wrong direction. That is the correct direction. But this will go on the outside or the inside? Oh boy. There's 2 squares there. Are you going to tell me which one? Okay, I get it. No? Oh, I'm so confused. Well, look at this picture here. It goes off to the left. Okay, so if it goes off to the left, that means that is not going to work. That is not going to work. That is going to work. That is the angle we need it to go. Therefore, that is correct. That is correct. That, however, is not correct. Okay, so that's not going to work. Now you're telling me, how is that even, that is not even possible. Okay, so it has to go here, so that's facing the completely wrong direction. That makes no sense at all. Let's move this over to the side. Has to be a gap. It said there's a gap. But here's the problem with this. There is no place to put those right there. It shows them on here. And that would entail that I did this completely wrong. What on earth? What on earth, a kit? Did you forget pre-drilled holes? Seriously? Forgot pre-drilled holes. That does not look right. Why would that be a thing? It's not pulled apart on this one. Because I put it in the wrong spot. Okay, thank you. You show it differently in the diagram, but on the picture, it's completely the opposite. Son of a mother father. Okay. So if that's the case, yeah, you have it completely wrong on the diagram, you son of a mother father. Has to go on that edge there. That's the only way. There we go. Forget the instructions on this particular one, because they screwed something up. Again, not my fault. Could be a little bit of my fault. Could be a little bit of user error. Oh, Lord. Okay, it says note the gap. Okay, so there's supposed to be a gap. That's all there. Perfect. Okay. Let's see. Okay. It appears that I have put that on properly. If we look at said box, that would be on there properly. Notice the gap. I noticed the gap. Pay attention to the orientation of the gap. I like that word gap a lot. We are flipping it over to step 97. Looks like we're going to be putting some of these lanterns together and other accoutrements. Okay. We are looking for C18, C22, and C19. C18. Here's C18 times 2, so it looks like we're going to make 2 of these. Okay. C18, we'll put you over there. C19 over here, C19 over there. And C22, which is this guy. See these numbers? Okay. Alrighty, and we're going to put C18 onto the bottom hole. See, on other kits, these lanterns are more three-dimensional instead of these little... Okay. go on the top. And it's still cool. It's still a cute little effect. A little paper lantern. Okay, so we'll make 2 of these. C18. On the bottom, C19 on the top. Okay. All right, those little critters are completed. Thank you for the likes, I appreciate it. If you like this type of content, hit the like button. If you don't like this type of content, don't hit the like button. But please share at Real Talk Chimp with your friends and family. Also, comment, talk to me. Let me know that you're watching. Or just talk to me. I need company. How's that sound? And it turns out that 98.4% of my viewers are not subscribed to the channel. With the viewers that I have, the 400,000, 500,000, a million viewers, and still I'm sitting at 3,900 subscribers. Isn't that fascinating? All right, so now we're going to step 98, which is C20 and C17, and this is we're going to require glue, hence the little glue feature there. So we're going to go back over here. We're going to be looking for C17 twice. The stem of said light. There's C20. The flange. And connecting the pillar to the doohickey. Yes. If you don't know what it's called a doohickey. Okay, so this is going to require note the orientation. Okay. I did it wrong. Got to pull these apart. Okay. Do this one. This one I did correctly, but the other one I messed up on. Okay. So we're going to put this little flange, and this is we're going to require glue. So we put a little bit of glue right here. There. We're going to put the little flange inside. Oops. In the center there. And we're going to take this little critter here. Place it inside until you hear the click. Now, you want that curved angle to be facing upward. I have to put a little bit more glue in there. Oh, nope. Just got to get it to. It doesn't want to secure in there. Why? Okay, try a little bit more glue. Give it a little blow job. The job is for me to blow into this thing. Don't take that into the gutter. All right, so that needs to just stay in there so that it'll be, the glue will secure. I'm going to keep that right there so I can work on the second one here. Okay. Some people. Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. He was looking kind of dumb with his finger and his thumb in the shape of an L on a forehead. All right, see, that angle has to face upwards. This piece has to face downwards so it connects into this little flange here. Oh, son of a mother father. Okay. There we go. Just have to push that down. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. Okay. We need those things to dry before we continue on. Okay. That was step 98. Step 99 says, by following these steps, 2 identical lantern components can be assembled. So that started off over here at 97, 98, 99. Current completion status. There you go. Literally lanterny things. Just let that glue dry for a little bit. Leave that aside and work on our next pieces. Okay. All right. So now we are going to step 100, which we're going to require G parts. G. So let's look for G. Here is G. G parts. So we have G14 times 2. That is correct. And G had a smaller plate that was attached in here, but it fell off at the very beginning. So G7 times 2 is what we're using. Our G plate is now completely complete. So we can set that in the box. We're done with G plate. We'll get the G7 times 2. And this G7 plate is completed. Okay, so we have these 2 here. Okay, it looks like these are a planter box. So let's see what the orientation looks like. Doesn't really show the orientation. Okay. Very cute. Okay, so we're going to take these little critters. That didn't fit. Flip it around. Like so. Love when things don't work. That's the sound of the man working on the chain gang. Why is that upside down? That is upside down. Don't you know that's the sound? The men working on the chain gang. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. Very small, delicate little pieces that refuse to go together. Oh, it's one side. Oh. Start over again. You know what we have to do? We have to file. That's why they just refuse to fit. Got to file. That's why they gave you the file. Because if it don't fit, you must quit. See, now it fits perfectly fine now that it's been filed. Sometimes you just gotta file, man. Okay. Little box completed. So now we're looking for step 101, which was C5 and C29. C5. Is that C5, really? C5. C5. You sank my battleship. Here's C5. It's the top of said plant box. And C29, which is a bonsai tree. Bonsai! What? Bonsai! Bonsai? Bonsai! Remember that? Karate Kid. Bonsai! I don't know why that fell off. Where did that come from? Did that break off somewhere? I don't know. Okay, so that goes in the center point. So we take this critter. Okay. Flip it over because it doesn't fit. Of course it doesn't fit. Of course it doesn't fit. Why would I think these parts would fit together? Why would I think that? Super cute. Super, super cute. Which one goes where? Oh, don't break. Very delicate. Very, very delicate. Bonsai! 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 Okay, so we've got bonsai. So the next step on here, 102, potted plant. Current completion status. Plamo. So our little potted plant. All right, next phase is adding the lanterns hanging off of said awning. That would be number 103, step 103. My name is Real Talk Chimp. I'm live streaming on YouTube at Real Talk Chimp. That's RealTalkChimp. I am currently working on the Cherry Blossom Tree Tea Pavilion. Kit number SJ042, the DIY mini house, 3D wooden puzzle. We are on the final stage. We are working on the accoutrement here. And yeah, make sure you like if you like this type of content, hit the like button. Share at Real Talk Chimp with your friends and family so we can get more viewers. Send me a comment, communicate with me. Even when this live stream becomes archived on YouTube, still, I hope you communicate with me. I have a community section, obviously, on said YouTube channel, as well as realtalkchimp.com. And subscribe to the channel. That would be greatly appreciated. All right, so this is telling us that they want us to hang the lanterns from the awning. So we're going to try that very trickily. I'm going to try that. Probably going to add a little bit of glue, I'm thinking. Only because things like to fall off. Okay. Only because this is going to be tricky because of where the thing is. So I think what I may do is take the awning off. Since I did not glue it on here, I can take the awning off to put these things on. Falling apart as we speak. Yeah, very, very delicate. It doesn't want to go. It doesn't want to go because the peg. I have to sand the pegs down even on this thing here. Such a shame. Such a wonky kit. This is not going to hang properly, because if that was the case, they would dangle off like that, so that's not going to work. That's not going to work. So funny. I'm going to chalk this one up to probably the most frustrating kit that I've ever made. Are going to fall right off. I don't get it. About to say that we're not going to have awnings. We're not going to have lanterns on this kit. This is just a joke. Okay. Enough with that. Let's glue it to the side here. It's clearly not going to stay up. Nope. Okay. It doesn't need this lantern. If it doesn't want it, it doesn't need it. That's my motto. One is good enough. All right, so 104 says to place the bonsai on the deck here. So we got two little slots right there. I'm gonna drop some glue in there. Nope. Gotta file these down. Got a little misalignment problem. We got it. Okay. Little misalignment problem. Okay, that's completed. 104. We're going to make a bench. Okay, so this is part, or step 105. We're going to need C3 and C2 times 2. So C3. Or C3 times 2. And C2 times 2. Sides of the chair. Okay. So let's get some orientation here. Okay, so we want the little leaf. There's a little tiny leaf pattern on here. According to the instructions, that should be on the right side. Okay. That'll fit pretty good. A little wonky. Not terrible. Okay, so the bench, which on 10, there you go. So 105, we put the seated part and then the back of it. And then there's the completed one. There. Okay. Tells us to place it to the right of the awning on step 108 with also the fence, which is C10. Now C10 popped out when I was manhandling the part, kind of. So there's your fence. So C10 gets placed on the right side here. So first off, this is going to go, so the pegs on here, see the pegs, we're going to file them down because everything needs to be filed on this kit. Not one part has fit together on this kit yet. This is the first kit that I've had to file every single piece before I could place it. A lot of warping and misalignment issues, kind of like this one is misaligned. Oh, we are having massive problems with this. Okay, and then the fence goes on this side here. So we have these pegs. They go into the slots over here. So we're going to file these pegs because we know they're not going to fit. Really want this lantern to work on here, but I don't want to go. Let's just not touch it for a moment. Okay, let's work on another part. All right, step 109 requires a bunch of F pieces. This is over here. Okay, so we need F15, we need F13 first. There are two F13s. So one side is one side. Okay, that's the left side. That's the right side. And then we need F15s. Here's F15s. They're both the same. So it doesn't matter which side they go on. But you do have to get the orientation, so the slot has to face down. And then we need F12, which is the base. Okay, that's the part that goes inside. That's the part that gets seen. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. That seems odd. I keep forgetting that I have to file every single piece down or it won't work. It looks like Shrek. See how easy it fits together when you file it down a little bit? See how screwed up it is when you put it in correctly on? It looks like a little mailbox, some type of lantern. Oh, it's a street lamp. A street lamp. All right, the next part's going to require glue. That's the part that we did, which was step 109. So the next part, step 110, is going to require glue. So basically making a little roof pieces. So we're going to need C23, C28. C23 times 2. C28. Okay, so see how it's a little tiny street lamp, but it matches. That's a roof panel, and that's a roof panel, so it's supposed to match that up there. That's kind of cute. It's kind of like when you make your mailbox outside your house look like the actual house. It's pretty cool. Run away. Also pagoda style. You want me to glue this up here? Oops. Okay. All right, so I'm going to glue that up there. It's supposed to look like a miniature version of this. Very cute. Okay, so that was step 110 with the glue symbol. Step 111, we're going to put this on a base, so we need C9 and C27. Here's C27. And now we're done with this plate, so we can put this in the box. C9. So now we're done with the C plate. Nothing left on there. The only plate that we have left is the F plate. Okay, so let's see how we connect this. C27. So we connect this bottom half with this half. so, like you do. So this will go into the ground. This will go into the mailbox. So right up through there. Through there. So I think I'm going to add a dab of glue in there. A yabba dabba glue. Okay. Super cute. Okay. There's the completed street lamp. Actually, I have this board horizontal on here. It shows it on here as vertical. So let's flip that around and see. It seems odd. But maybe that looks better. Vertical? I guess it looks better vertical. Okay. I thought it looked pretty good horizontal on there, but I want to do it like the instructions. It's like it looked like a little mohawk. Okay. So we're flipping the page. So we're going to place the mailbox in the slot that's right next to the bench. So there's a slot that's right next to the bench here. So I'm going to drop a little bit of glue. Doesn't require it, but I'm going to do it. Let's see what direction these leaves go. They'll do, okay. There we go. It's a little wonky on there, so the glue is probably going to be necessary. A little wonky. Okay, now it requires to put those F side plates around at the base. So we're looking for 2 F9s and 2 F10s. So we'll do the F9s first. The F9s go on the These guys want to stay on here. All right, this is going to be tricky. This is going to be tricky because now you got to hold the whole house together and hope pieces don't fall off of it. So you can see the little tabs here that will connect onto tabs here. Well, let's try to do that without everything falling apart. And if everything falls apart, well, then we'll just glue it back together. Why would I ever think that that was going to work? Silly old me. Every part needs to be filed. Silly, silly. And there goes the mailbox. Like I said, things are going to fall off. Gently flip her over. Don't break it. Don't break. Don't break. Okay. So now we're looking for F10s. does not want to come apart. So now the F plate is completed. Well, we do the same thing we did like on the other ones. I do not want to connect. Oh, God. Of course. No. Sammy. Sammy, I need you to go down on the ground and collect the part that fell. Please. Sammy. That's why we have the handy dandy grabber. Oh, too close. Very wonky. So if we had some more tape, we could secure this down. Unfortunately, we do not have any more tape. So I'm going to try a bead of glue. If that doesn't work, well, then the next best thing is to break off a piece of plate and make your own base. Make yourself some support. It's the hillbilly way. Yay, it didn't work. Fuck it. Wires are going to dangle. Don't give a shit no more. Want the goddamn thing to be finished. Okay. Let's glue on the parts that have fallen off. Oh, I don't like it like that, so fuck it. I'm going to make it my own way. We're going to need a bigger boat. Toolbox is getting huge. Huge. That is what we did right there. This says, after assembly is complete, insert two AAA 1.5 batteries. Pay attention to the polarity of the batteries when inserting them. When pushing the switch to the on position, touch the bottom switch icon to turn the lights on and off. If our batteries worked, you would see the light go on and off. The lights are on. Very hard to see. Here, let me shut the lights off here so you can see what's going on. Well, it is daytime out here, so it's a little weird. But we may be able to see. Just barely see the lights on in there. This thing just covers. Oh, there they are. You see the two lights up there. There's lights underneath, but it's super faint. Lights on, lights off. Lights on, lights off. And I'm touching this power thing right here. Power on. Lights on. Hard to see it in there. Lights off. This, if I could get it to focus, is the completed cherry blossom tree tea pavilion. 3D wooden puzzle. SJ042. All the information is in the description, as well as where you can get the kit and the supplies that I used. While it says I do get a commission for everything, I do not. I never have. So there you go. This is Real Talk Chimp, live streaming through YouTube at Real Talk Chimp. That's RealTalkChimp. Live streaming on YouTube on this part 3 that we just now completed. This 3-dimensional wooden puzzle just for you of this tea pavilion. Meow. Meow. Little bench to sit outside and read if you'd like. I hope you like it. I'll be coming back at you with something new. Don't know when. Possibly a new 3D model kit or a new painting. Remember to like, if you like this type of content, of course. Share at Real Talk Chimp with your friends and family. Comment. You can let me know if there was a part that you liked. You can give me the time code. I can make a short video of it. There will be a highlight, a 1-minute highlight, of course. And of course, subscribe to the channel. If you share at Real Talk Chimp with your friends and family, maybe they'll be able to subscribe to the channel. I don't just play video games on here. I do other things, as you can see. And I try to stay as calm as I possibly can, but these are frustrating kits, but they are what they are, so just be prepared. If you found any part of this thing difficult, you let me know. We'll cry together in a fetal position. Again, that's the glue that I use, but you could probably find a better glue. Some of these kits do come with glue, which is super cool. Some of them don't. See if you can see this light on in here. Trying to zoom in so you can see the light. There's the light in there. There's the light. The little LED light. Shut it off, turn it on. Obviously in a darker space, it's daytime out here, so it's not going to show up as well. Super cute. All right, we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace and chicken grease, everyone. Thanks for watching.